Party room meeting and the leadership spill motion. The Assistant Treasurer, Josh Frydenberg, only a couple of hours away now. Josh Frydenberg, what are the numbers?
Well, I think Tony Abbott retains the strong support of the majority of his colleagues. I think this spill motion should be defeated, and I think Kieran will be defeated.
I've spoken to several of your colleagues over the last 24 hours, and
that's two of us.
The despair, oh, no, dozens, and the despair among your colleagues is palpable. And you look at these polls today, that's only going to reinforce that.
Well, there's no doubt there's a warning to the party that we need to change, and we've got to heed the lessons that my colleagues are making clear from the comments over the last 2 weeks. Clearly, we do need to recalibrate, we do need to reboot, we do need a better budget this time round. But we also need to shine a light on our political opponents, because at the end of the day, they're the alternative government. Bill Shorten could end up in the lodge as a result of dysfunction and chaos.
Speaking of chaos,
if it rains on our side after today.
Chaos and dysfunction, do you really make decisions about the nation's national security on the basis of winning an extra vote? That's what happened yesterday. The Prime Minister indicating to a South Australian senator that he will put to open tender the contract for submarines as part of the leadership negotiation. It's ridiculous.
Well, this is, the largest military acquisition project that Australia
can you discuss it as part of a leadership
building here in Australia, or whatever the case may be. And I think having a tender process just sounds very sensible. You want a decision to be made, Kieran, at the end of the day on subs, based on defence policy, not industry policy. That's a given.
And not leadership bids, and not leadership ballots.
But that's a given. And I'm saying to you that is what will happen. But at the same time, you need to consider all the options on the table.
Well, that's what people have said for a long time. The Prime Minister had indicated he was going to go the option of buying Japanese subs without a tender process.
I don't think
we've got the tender process. The Defence Minister, the Treasurer, had indicated previously that they weren't going to go to tender. But there wasn't time.
We've always made the same points, which is this is a vitally important acquisition project for Australia, that we would be done on the basis of defence policy, not industry policy, and at the end of the day, the final decision would rest with the military chiefs and their advice.
Do you accept it's not a good look to be making decisions about national security in the face of a leadership vote?
No.
It looks ridiculous.
Kieran, I think that the Prime Minister has clearly heard some of the concerns from his South Australian colleagues and has reacted accordingly. There is nothing wrong with that. But at the end of the day, the final decision on the submarines, as every Australian would expect, should be made on the basis of what is in the best interests of the defence of Australia.
What number does Tony Abbott need to secure today to ensure that this does not revisit? Because if the vote is somewhere close to 50, if it's upwards of 40, surely it's only buying him some time.
Kieran, I'll leave that speculation to well-paid commentators like yourself. But at the end of the day, I think Tony Abbott will stay as Prime Minister after today. I think the spill motion will be defeated, and I think we'll have to change a number of things to ensure that we can return back in front in the polls.
Now, finally, you went for a run this morning with the Prime Minister.
On a treadmill.
On a treadmill, but still a run. What's his mood like?
Look, he's very positive. I think he understands today's a big day for the party, but he also, I think, feels very confident that he will retain the confidence of the party room, and he'll get on governing for the entire country as he was elected to do by the Australian people just less than a year and a half ago.
Josh Frydenberg, thanks so much for your time.
Nice to be with you.
Now let's hear from a few of